Welcome to another edition of Objective Bias featuring yours truly, and I got AJ from the T is Toxic back on. I don't think I have to introduce her again, but she has been on an episode previous to this, and this episode is going to be kind of different. It's going to be entitled Story Time, and the reason I want to entitle it that is because this is kind of going to be an experience perspective type of episode where me and her are kind of interviewing each other low key with various questions about our experiences, asking each other different things and letting the conversation flow how it needs to flow. Now, with that being said, because I am the host, I would like to start with the first question. And of course, when we go back and forth, you're going to answer and I'm going to answer as well because shit, my questions come from my experience. I want to know if you experienced what I did, kind of just have fun with it. So with that being said, when was your first heartbreak? What happened and how did you react? And it could be adult, childhood, high school, early college, whatever. Heartbreak is heartbreak. You feel me?
Am I able to shout out another podcast right now?
Sure.
So shout out to Pod About It on YouTube as well. My ex is on Pod About It, and he just had me on about how he broke up with me when we were teenagers. But before he existed, there was a toxic breakup as well that I did to his best friend. However, that was the worst breakup because that was the first breakup, and it was traumatizing because you're so young, you're so impressionable. I was working at Burger King. Huh?
It's definitely traumatized. That first one?
Yeah. But the good news for anybody watching, I'm not called T is Toxic for nothing. I'm T is Toxic because not only do I, report on toxic information, a bitch has done some toxic things. So welcome to one of my first toxic things that I've done. And so I was 14, working at Burger King, and I had a boyfriend. We had been dating maybe about 2 months or so. Shout out to him. And I'm at work. We're on the phone. And he's kind of like, the mood is off. And then Donell Jones comes on, and this Negro starts singing Donell Jones, okay? Like it was the Black National Anthem. Yeah, sweet it up, dee dee dee.
That song used to go hard, though.
Huh?
That song used to go hard, though.
The songs still go hard, but not while I'm at work. I'm flipping burgers, bro. Like I'm trying to take orders and I'm 14. Don't sweet it up, dee dee, my ear, and I got a feeling I'm about to get dumped. And you staying on the phone with me, okay?
Right.
So you finished out the work shift with me. And then you dumped me. And I'm like devastated. It's my first real breakup. I don't take L's well. So needless to say, I can count on one hand the number of dumpings I've gotten versus the dumpings I do. So the Leo and me, nah. So I took that. I was like, damn, that shit hurt like hell. And I still had to see him because we all went to the same church and stuff. So I still had to see his ass Sunday night, Tuesday, and Thursday. Okay. But then he wanted to get back together. So there's a redemption story for anybody listening, but he wanted to get back together. So I did get back together with him, and I waited till our 1 month anniversary. And I was like, happy 1 month. And he was like, oh my gosh, happy 1 month, babe. And I was like, I'm breaking up with you. It's over.
So it was your get back.
I had to get my get back. Original city girl. I had to get my get back.
You know what's crazy? I want to say it was immature, but shit, it was immature. You was 14. What the fuck? Shit, you might as well get back.
I was supposed to be immature. Shit, you sang Donell Jones to me. You didn't miss a fucking line in the song. You got the whole song right. You're not even acing all your classes, but you figured out the whole Donell Jones song at 14 and sang it to me. That's toxic.
He was being petty himself. He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. Absolutely knew. But shout out to him. We still cool to this day. But yeah, that was devastating for my first heartbreak.
Yeah, my shit was devastating itself. It's like when you're that young, like trauma is a real thing with your first breakup because you feel like the world is ending. You felt like this was the one you was going to spend the rest of your life with. You're that naive, you're that dumb, and you just feel like y'all going to be together forever.
Yeah.
So my shit was like a process. It occurred with one female kind of for 3 years. Like she dumped me about 5, 6 times. Like she just kept dumping.
Did you ever get a dump in?
You said what?
Did you ever get to dump her at least once?
Not once. But it was crazy how it came full circle though, because at the end of the time frame where we was breaking up and making up, I had to find a say so because she tried to come back to me and I was like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I didn't moved on and shit like that, but I'm gonna get to that. So the first time she broke up with me, it was our freshman year. And look, I gotta give some backstory to why it was so devastating. I felt some type because she pursued me. And this is how she pursued me. She was a twin, a fraternal twin. I knew her brother. Her brother hooped with me or whatever. So I didn't even know he had a twin until we got to like middle school, whatever. We was hooping together since like maybe like 11, 12 or some shit like that. So when we got to middle school, I saw his, his twin because she played on the basketball team. I wasn't paying no mind. I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, you got a twin. I ain't really stunned her and shit like that. Like I really wasn't. But I was like, okay, that's cool. So I remember I used to like call the crib or whatever to speak to him or whatever, like, just like, young men, young teenagers do, call my
Mm-hmm.
homies every now and then. So I don't know if it was the summer or early ninth grade, but one time she picked up the phone, and again she pursued me. She ran game on me. She was like, "Why every time you call here you ask for my brother?" Cause I don't know. That's what I know. I guess I'm gonna start talking to you now. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the game she laid. I went for it. You know what I mean? So me and her started dating or whatever. And the first time she broke up with me, I'm gonna go through the breakup. Like I said, it was like my heart was like slowly tearing throughout this time. So it was like a slow grind of trauma. So the first time she broke up with me, she broke up with me for it was a junior football player. So
She dumped you for another dude?
yep, she dumped me for the junior football player again. My dumb ass was like, "Oh my god, my feelings are hurt." I used to sneak to. This is when pay phones were still around. When I used to get in trouble, like I couldn't talk on the phone in my room or whatever because I got caught on the phone too late. I would sneak outside to the goddamn pay phone right down the street to call it and shit. That's how sprung my ass was, nose wide open and shit. So she broke up with me for a football player, junior. And of course, he a football player. I'm some scrawny 14, 15-year-old and shit. I don't want to smoke with him, but I know I love her. So you know what I did? I made like a little, you used to make little mixtapes and shit of slow songs and shit. I did that shit. I'm trying to get it back. Like,
What year was
come back
this?
to me.
What year was this?
This had to be 2000. 2000.
Oh,
Um,
see, this before Mario came out to help you.
Right. So that's when the R&B was banging back then. So all the love songs and I Want You Back and I Love You was in the chamber. So I'm
Yeah.
doing that and shit, whatever. And I don't know how he found out, but bruh found out. And we was in the cafeteria one day, and he like, "What's up with the tape, dog?" I was like, I was shook. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, God damn, my ass jumped into some shit. This swole ass football player about to, give me work or whatever. But she held him back. That was the first time. Got back together, right? Um, she broke up with me again for another nigga, and he was on the football team. I'm like I think at the time I didn't really have no confidence in myself. I thought I was awkward. I had like acne and shit. You feel what
Like
I'm
she didn't
saying?
have
Like
best friends you could get back at?
I just wasn't in that frame of mind. Like I was dumb as fuck. You feel what I'm saying? And this is what led me to turn into a beast eventually. Like when I stopped giving a fuck. It took me a minute, but so she broke with me again for another football player. And I remember it was like one of these summers. I don't know which year it was because they all kind of ran together. I was in at the crib, my parents' crib or whatever, boo-hoo crying in the goddamn den. I remember that shit. It was in the summer, like tears coming down my eyes and all that shit. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with me? My sensitive fucking ass. And mind you, I'm the best basketball player in my grade on the team. If I had the awareness to know I could probably get some other females, I would have been straight, but I'm stuck on her. I'm stuck on this chick that pursued me and then been breaking up. So another thing happened. I think it was my junior year, maybe at the beginning of my sophomore junior. I can't remember shit. It was a blur. She cheated on me with a freshman. No, it was my sophomore year. She cheated on me with a freshman, right? Like I told her, this shit long, man. So
She's unhinged.
yeah, she
She's
was.
unhinged.
I ain't gonna lie.
Shorty is a hot pocket.
She cheated, and the only reason she told me, I wouldn't have found out. But the dude gave her a hickey, right? So that's the only way, goddamn, I found out. So she told me, I'm like, okay, at least you told me, blah, 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 dumb shit. And we ended up getting back together, doing some shit. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do this shit no more. Then she goddamn turned the tables on me. Oh, we gonna do something. I'm like, shit, I'm still gonna smash, but I ain't trying to fuck with you no more. You know what I'm saying? Like on some titles. So after, we did our thing or whatever, she was like, oh, so this is what you do? You just smash and you just leave? So I'm feeling bad, like, oh damn, I did kind of just do that. Not thinking about what the fuck you been doing to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I feel bad. Bye, 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 bye. So I actually almost fought Brian. I almost fought him because I remember he was in the locker room after practice one day. They was practicing. And I was like, bring your bitch ass out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just about to, because you're supposed to know you on the squad. You ain't supposed, that's cold. You ain't supposed to goddamn mess with my chick or whatever. You supposed to know that, but she a freshman, she an upperclassman. So he wanted to see what it was hitting on. I understand as I grew older. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro.
Plus, that football player that could have wore you out in the cafeteria definitely gave you grace.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah, he did. Because when it comes to fighting, it's about confidence, and I was not confident at all. Like I probably could beat him up or some shit, but he was spoiled. So I'm like, I equate that to you can fuck me up. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I ain't want no parts of it.
Yeah.
So the last thing that occurred, we were going into our senior year or whatever, and again, my heart had been broke several times leading up to my senior year. So a rumor came out that she was messing with this other freshman. I was like, you know what? I ain't going through this shit my senior year. It was a wrap. That's when the switch turned. Bruh, you one of the best players in the county. These females fucking with you, and you fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And I did it so cold too. I did get some get back, but I got my get back respectfully. I didn't do what you did. It was respectful get back. I'm gonna tell you what happened.
I feel like that was a respectful get back.
So, everyone didn't have a cell phone in 2003, 2004, leading up to the senior year or whatever, or my senior year. So and by the time this came around, I had washed my hands with her. I started talking to this other girl who I actually started dating, but she wasn't aware of it. She went to another school, the girl I'm talking to. So I remember she called me like, can we hang out? Can we, kick it? I'm like, cool. Because you need to understand that I am not fucking with you no more and I done moved on. So this would be a perfect time to let you know in person. So I went to go pick her up, brought her back to the crib. We over there, in my room, watching TV, just kicking it. But it ain't like it usually is. We usually like hugged up and cuddling and shit. I'm on one side of the bed, she on the other side of the bed.
Like, this is a toxic story. I just want to announce. You said it was respectful, but the minute you picked her up, it became toxic. I'm listening.
Hey, man, it had to go down somehow. Like I had to get some type of get back. I wasn't gonna smash, but I had to tell you face to face. I needed to get you in a vulnerable space. How you've had me vulnerable all of these years. So technically, I'm not doing wrong, but I need to give you a little taste of your own medicine. You feel what I'm saying? So she's like, why are you acting, so standoffish or whatever? I got a whole girlfriend. That's why. Take me home. Okay, cool.
Was there awkward silence in the car?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't awkward for me. I was fine. Like, it wasn't like, damn, I hurt your feelings. I'm just thinking about all this fucking time and you really tripping because I done got a girlfriend. I ain't do nothing with you. I just, you know what I'm saying? Even though I came to pick you up, you didn't have to drive over here. I picked you up. So you didn't
What
do no work.
song?
You didn't do no
What
legwork.
song did you have playing while
Oh,
y'all
I
was
can't
in the car?
remember. I can't remember. I wasn't that petty, but I was like, yeah, fine, yeah, bitch. You feel what I'm saying? So the
You had to
funny
have
part
that
about it,
all in her face. Da, 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 da.
so the ending part of it is when I dropped her off, right? Drove all the way back home. She called and told my mom on me. I like, so you telling on the motherfucker? What's my mom gonna do?
That's toxic too.
Yeah,
Snitching
so
to
I
the
just, I,
parentals
I
is
just politely
crazy.
told my mom, I was respectful, like, Mom, there's a lot of stuff you really don't know about her and what she had going. I didn't want to mess up her reputation with my mom. That,
Mhm.
that's personal shit. That's none of your business for real. That's, shit we go through. But yeah, I had to get my little get back a little bit. That was my respectful get back. And I just kind of like washed my hands. And after that, under a year, I got somebody pregnant again. That's where my son is here, 19 years of age now. But that's a topic for another day. But that's along the line of I started to go beast mode because I ain't do nothing with nobody for 3 years. It was just her. After that, hey man, fuck these hoes. That was my mentality. So that's how that
Listen,
went down.
I get it. Because I remember when I had my kids and my sons at the barbershop, and this dude that used to be like part of the crew came and he was like, "What happened? Last time I checked, you was never going to get married to have kids." Because literally, I was like, "I'm good off of this." But that was based off of a college breakup. Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
my turn for the questions.
Yeah.
We push up my invisible glasses.
You really did this.
Okay, so if you could tell 17-year-old you anything and it altered your current life, what would you tell yourself?
That's a good one, but I think it's going to be surrounding basketball because as I've and go check out the podcast, My Basketball Life. It's a plug. Um, I made the most I made the most detrimental mistake in choosing my college of choice when I left my junior college, going to Auburn University. I would have told myself then, you're going to have an opportunity to get to a major Division I school. The first one that comes knocking, don't answer the door. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can answer it, but don't just take the offer. You feel what I'm saying? So I would have told
Yeah.
myself, like, go on more visits, actually scope the scene or the schools that really want you in. Give everybody a chance to not plead their case, but give their case of why this school is the best school for you or this team is the best team for you. I would have definitely done that if I would have known what was ahead of me because I had this whole game plan of each level I was going to be the best player and eventually play professionally. But of course, and obviously that didn't happen because of that major incorrect decision I made of attending Auburn University. Again, that's not a bash on the university itself. Just the basketball program wasn't the best program for me, and I would have went to another school, and that's what happened with that.
Okay. I respect that. 17-year-old me, I would have told myself to ignore that fat dude that showed up at my musical because the relationship that I got into in my senior year going into college, the breakup was so devastating at that age that it really impacted my grades, my self-esteem, and you know what I mean, all of that. And I went into a really bad depression. And so that would definitely be don't even give that boy your number energy. I would have changed everything in my life. I would probably just be having kids. And if I had had my oldest son, I probably wouldn't have felt the need to get married so soon because I got married at 22 after dating 4 months. And so it really alters so much because it would have changed what I was doing with my education and how much time that I would really give myself to excel in my university. So I would definitely say leave that corny ass boy alone. Now, he's a great guy, so on and so forth, but for the position that I was in, the house that I grew up in, the life that I had, being swept off my feet that way, feeling that high made the crash that much worse. So I would definitely tell myself that 17-year-old me, stay away from the boys, lean towards the books.
So would you say that because of what happened, you know, that breakup and, you know, you falling into a depression, you feel like you were trying to fill a void almost immediately?
Oh
And
my
that's
God.
what and that's what happened with you getting married early and dating for 4 months and, you know, what you just
You know,
articulated.
I got pregnant at 20 with my oldest child. I think it's 20, right? 21, I had him. Yeah. So I got pregnant at 20 with my oldest child. And the job I worked at where I met his father, you know what I mean? Like when you start playing it all out, and that job would have never existed if I didn't get pulled out of school. I wouldn't have gotten pulled out of school if I had taken my grade serious. I would have taken my grade serious if I had studied it. It just kind of, it's a trickle down effect. And same thing with the wanting a father for my son, getting married, you know, to the first Tom, Dick, and Harry that showed up, all of that bullshit. So it would have altered everything completely for me. I don't regret my children. I just, like I said, if there was ever going to be a Malachi, Malachi would have still existed. If he didn't exist at 20, he would have existed at 30. So that's the way that I look at it. And I don't have any regrets in my life, but that one thing could have changed the entire situation.
Oh no, I agree with that. I mean, as far as that question itself, of course, if you have an opportunity to change things in certain spaces, you would hell yeah, we would do that shit. But the experiences, the trials and tribulations that we've gone through because of what we've been through has shaped us into who we are today. So I really appreciate, even though I was speaking about the basketball situation, I would have loved to play professionally, but I'm actually more in love with the person I became because I didn't have basketball to handicap, you know, my experience, my world, not my worldly experience, but my life experience as
Yeah.
a person learning different shit. You feel what I'm saying? And things of that nature. Like I wouldn't have been able to, like, say if I played professionally, yeah, I would have had a lot of money and things of that nature. That would have been great.
You
But
would have brought that high school sweetheart
but
the fuck
I
back.
wouldn't have been able to have like the conversations I'm having now. And sometimes, you know, you gotta, you know, you can't dwell on what didn't happen, but focus on, you know, where you're at now. So
Facts.
that's that. Now,
And you would have brought that high school sweetheart back into your life. So then she could tell you she smashed LeBron or something like that. And then you would have been even more angry. So yeah.
oh, nah, soon as I left that situation and moved my senior year of high school, that's when I'm telling you, 180. I'm that respectfully, I'm that motherfucker. Shit, bitches fucking
Yeah.
with me. That's how I felt. So, yeah. But on to the next one. Have you ever been arrested or came close to being arrested? And what happened? Let's talk about the
And
first time. Not if it's been multiple, we don't got to go down your rap sheet, but let's talk about that
I don't
first
have
time.
a real rap sheet. Unfortunately, I'm not as gangster as I
You're
sound.
not in these streets, you're not thugging like that.
Yeah, no. I blast trap music on the way to my customer service job. I'm not a thug unless I absolutely have to be. But I'm saving it for that one good time. However, I did technically get arrested once. But it was all something stupid. I had a ticket. I didn't pay the ticket. And my town is small. And it was a little while after my brother had passed away, and my parents, they had my sons, and they were bringing them back to me, but they weren't in car seats. However, okay, nobody tripped. We're talking a residential area, we're talking a very small town, and we're talking them crossing right over a main street to get to me. So it's literally 25 miles an hour the entire time. You cross over, it changes to like 40 miles an hour, but I'm right at the first entrance, my complex. So my mother gets pulled over for whatever she gets pulled over for. It's Sunday, we getting ready for church. The boys are dressed, they in the back seat, and the cops pull her over. And they're like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go drop my my grandson's off to my daughter. It's a small town. I grew up in this town. They're like, what's your daughter's name? They have to have her say it. And she's not thinking about it because of everything going on. And she's like, Ashley Bleep. I'm not going to give anybody on here my last name. Ashley Bleep. And as soon as she says it, she's like, fuck. Like she knows it. And they're like, we're going to follow you to her house because we have a warrant. We have a warrant out for her arrest. So she calls me while she's in the car. She's like, don't get mad, but what do you mean don't get mad, but you sending the cops to me. And I'm in damn heels and a pencil skirt. What do you mean don't get mad, but she gets to the house, they come, they're like, come on, you gotta go with us. They literally like, if you have the bail money, just bring the bail money with you. Like, it's not a big deal. The bail money is the cost of the ticket that you had to pay. Right. And they literally had me sitting in the back and holding until they processed my stuff, and then I left out. And I just like literally, ladies and gentlemen, the town is so small. I walked to church after I got out of jail. So literally, but I was like, really, girl, you just gonna lead the police straight to me. You can't be trusted. You're not gonna be part of the bank robbery because you don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could have said anything. You could have said, I'm grabbing them a bagel from the store.
If this become a movie and we're planning to do a bank robbery, you're not a part of the crew.
Oh my gosh, she's never going to get to be a part of the assignment. Oh my goodness.
So my first arrest, and I say first because I've been through some dumb ass shit. Nothing, no felonies. But
I mean, not trying to sound dark for Black History Month, but I mean, it is a Black man in America. I mean, my brother got his car and was pulled over first week. Like
me personally, I don't know any one of my Black friends or colleagues that haven't been arrested. Right. And it's crazy, like you said, Black men in America, like I just don't know, but there's a topic for another day. So I was on some dumbass shit, of course. And you know how you kind of get influenced by your peers, what they're doing, and you kind of think that's cool or that kind of, that kind of makes sense to do. So I had a friend that used to steal liquor bottles, right? And I was like, bro, how the fuck do you be getting away from that shit? Oh, it's easy, bro. I just do this, that's when, baggy clothes were in style, jeans or sweats or whatever. I just put it in my pants and I just walk out that bitch. So I'm like, okay, that sounds kind of intriguing. So it was around a broke stage of my life, right? An extremely broke stage. So I thought that this is how I'm not going to get caught. I'm going to buy a cheaper bottle, but I'm going to steal what I want by putting it in my pants or some shit, right? And this is like, of course, I want to say like early 20s, of course. Like, it was like towards the end of my college career. So yeah, that was the play. That was the finesse. I'm going to buy one, but I'm also steal one, so I don't look suspicious. If you just come in the motherfucker, you just walk around, you look suspicious.
So you walked further away from the door.
Mm-hmm. So this one time, I don't know if you've ever just heard of like it's like a cliche, criminals are dumb and eventually they'll get caught. Pretty much that's what happened. So what happened was on this one evening, like I was like extremely broke. I didn't have no money, but I went into the liquor store with a group of friends or whatever.
Was it the same liquor store you've been robbing?
Oh no, this was a new one.
Okay.
The thing about this was in the county. I had no business doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like, when you get to them counties, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be participating in
I heard I live in one of those counties.
So, and it was one of those, counties that really don't got a lot of, motion in the county. So, of course, the cops are always gonna, if it's some action, they want to make an arrest of them. But
yeah,
went in there with a group of friends. We were about to turn up for the night or whatever. Have a little kickback or whatever in a small ass town. And I did the same thing, but here goes the idiotic thing that happened. I didn't follow my routine. I didn't buy nothing. I got so comfortable, like, man, I get away with this shit all the time. Let me goddamn just pay one. Fuck that shit. So the next time we came back in this liquor store, next thing you know, you would think it was undercover cops and shit, some shit like it was like a bank robbery. You know how motherfuckers came in. Everybody freeze, blah 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 blah. I'm like, everybody's confused, like it's the same group of friends or whatever. And they're like, they get me, they arrest me or whatever. And my friend's like, oh, we got the money, we can pay for it. It's too late, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, and this is the I had transferred my last year, and I was playing at another school or whatever. And this is when things started to go downhill as far as basketball is concerned. But this school actually got kicked off the team because of it. But I remember I was in the holding cell, like, motherfucker, how you arrested? You a damn basketball star, or you aspiring basketball star, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't fuck everything up. And yeah, I mean, I continue to play my last semester at another school, a little hole in the wall school. I ain't about to name because that's a lot of shit people don't know about. You know what I'm saying? I don't even count that shit. But, I got kicked out.
That's the one you leave off the resume.
Right.
What were you doing between these years? I was on leave. Like what?
Right. But yeah, I just that was the first time. Like that was the time I mean, of course, I stopped abruptly after that. And that was my final and last time hitting lick on a liquor bottle. But no pun intended. But yeah, that was my experience with my first arrest.
I used to have a little bit of a shoplifting finger when I was a teenager, but I set certain rules, especially when we were at the mall. I would not like boost clothes or anything like that with more than one friend.
Mm-hmm.
I would never go into places where it's crowds because it's just going to draw attention. And two, I had a code. And so the code that my girlfriend and I would do is if I said, I want this, it meant we was going to steal it. But if I said, I'm going to buy this, then it meant I was going to the register.
Right. And I mean, that was the culture in, with where I grew up when I was little. We used to hit licks at Kmart, like for toys and shit. So it kind of like followed me up until that time. Not like I was doing it like exclusively. Like I stopped for a long period of time when I got older. But then when I ran into that friend that was doing that shit, I'm like, that's an easy little finesse. And look, fuck me up or whatever. But
yeah, sometimes it can seem so easy. It's not. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Was that your question or mine?
It was mine. that power drink you got going on over there.
Listen, it's drink. Dinner, Papi Chulo. It's dinner. First of all, shout out to all the Leos. Y'all know what time it is. In the words of Ace on the Tea is Toxic, you know what the fuck kind of time it is. It's a Leo time. And it is moonshine butter pecan. So it's good. It was never filled all the way up though. I'm not that much of a gangster. Okay.
There goes a smile. What's going on? What the vibe's about to be?
And I'm gonna read it too, because I'm grown. Okay, I'm grown. We're gonna find out if you grown. Okay. Nastiest thing ever said or done to you during sex?
Said or done to me? Well, I guess this is a grown up episode. I assume this evening. So let's. So it was actually it was two things. I wasn't expecting this, of course. I was not expecting this when this happened, but I was pretty much introduced to anal. Old girl was like, put it in my, I'm like, the fuck you talking about? What?
You sure about
that? Okay. Mind you, we was lit, drinking, all that shit. And that's one thing I remember when I was in my prime of doing shit like that. Just if I get some liquor in my system, shit can get real. You know what I'm saying? In that bedroom. So when she said that, and it was crazy because I didn't even think about it the next day because I was already emotional like shit. Hey, yeah, they do that shit, then fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was that time, and then uh a female just randomly tossed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I was like, it was on some like random type shit. It wasn't like I was like, you know what I'm saying, in a compromising position, they're down there doing their thing and shit, you know what I'm saying? And they
Caught you
got to
off guard.
like the gooch part, you know what I'm saying, of that area, and then next I'm like, the fuck? Yeah. I let it continue. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? In that moment, it was going like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever feeling was happening, it was straight. So that was the nastiest it ever got for me. And of course, this was in my 20s.
So following up, before I answer that as well, when you got hit with that bop, shoo bop, 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 scooby bop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you be like, did you be like, I'm this many years old, y'all? Were you like, oh, I might like this? Or were you like, all right, just this time?
It was more of, it just happened in the moment, and it was what it was. I didn't really think nothing of it. It was one of those things, you ever just have like a crazy night, whatever it may be, and you just kind of think about it, like, damn, last night was
What's
crazy.
wrong?
That
Yeah.
was a wild ass motherfucking night. It was
Mm-hmm.
cool, but it's not one of them things you just gonna continue doing. It just was like, that was dope. It was cool in the moment, but that
Yeah.
was just one of those moment type of situations. So that's all I thought about.
Copy. I I was dealing with a guy off and on, not even off and on. There was a guy that I was dealing with on and on for about 3 years. It was strictly buddy, BUDDY, situationship. There was never any emotional feelings. But whenever you had an itch, whenever I had an itch about maybe once a month or every other month, whatever, he came and scratched it.
Yeah.
So it's normal. It's common. We see each other all the time. No big deal. Same regular routine of shit.
Mm-hmm.
However, this one time we're at it, the situation, we're doing our thing. It's been a good hour, maybe even more, right? Because there's foreplay, there's all this other stuff. So I know from experience, we're closer to the end than we are the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And out the blue, mid back shot, he goes.
Mid back shot.
he goes like the back shot never stopped, y'all, but it was mid back shot. Like, you know what I mean? We know what back shots are used for at the end. And so mid back shot, he goes, I want you to pee on me.
Okay.
Now, mind you, back shots is still happening. And I'm like, excuse me, bitch? He's like, I want to go to the bathroom. I want to go to the bathroom with you. I want to lay in the tub. I want you to pee on me. It says mid, like, I want you to pee on me. Like I'm
mid-stroke. You just thinking about someone peeing on you?
Mid-stroke. He's like, I want to end being pissed on. And I was like, maybe next time. This is the back shot move, y'all. Maybe next time, because we're so close to the end. That was my response to him, literally in the middle of that. And he was like, okay. But it was like, who told you to get pissed on? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, if it's a situationship, you doing your thing, I'm doing. I told you go get peed on one time so you can see if you like it. Now you want me to enjoy it. I'm not joining that bandwagon with you.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I think that would ruin the moment for me. Like, say if mid whatever, can you pee on me, bitch? What?
And this is why I'm happy. Like I said,
what are you talking about?
We already know in the bedroom, normally the back shots are the closer. That's the last set of fireworks, right? Mm-hmm. And in the bedroom, that's the back shot is the firework, the last part. But because of it, luckily, I wasn't in this position for much longer because I already knew what type time we were on. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it maybe lasted like 2 more minutes if that, or maybe he was holding it to see if he could get peed on first, right? I don't know. I don't know.
There'd be
But
hey, this would be some crazy ass fantasies and fetishes in the bedroom. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And I don't judge people's fantasies and fetishes because I've heard some crazy things and I've seen some wild things. However, that's the boundary that
Yeah, I'm gonna exit left on
that
this
one
one.
there.
I'm gonna go ahead and exit. I'm gonna go ahead and exit left on this one.
Hold on.
It's not for me.
I'm out. We're not doing it. Like, and can I? Don't even ask me that. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I
this is
can
the
go into
last
more
time
detail with that, but I don't want to freak out your viewers about my opinion on that. But literally, like, nah, I'm good.
Well, this next question comes from a conversation that you brought up prior to the show. And because you said you have had an experience, I want you to get into it. But has there been a time where you could have lost your life? What happened and how did you handle it?
You know I love morbid shades. My elderly goals is to open up a funeral home when I retire. Okay. Several times. I've been almost losing my life my entire life.
Jesus.
I'll speed through it, y'all. It is 9:06. Let me see if I can tell you the number of times I've almost killed myself in 3 years. In 3 minutes. 2.5 minutes, y'all. My mother had me. The umbilical cord was tied around my neck and there was feces in my throat.
Out the gate.
Out the gate. Real ass bitch, give up. Like, no. But my 8 years old, my mother made lasagna. Maybe she's the culprit. Maybe this bitch tried to kill me. She made lasagna. I ended up choking on the lasagna. And my father like jumped up, grabbed, like, he didn't know how to do the Heimlich. He like put his hand down my throat and got the cheese out because it was like literally deep, like down my throat. But now you guys hold on to this part. That led to me then getting strep throat every year, almost like every year up until 2020 when the pandemic. It was almost like seasonal. Now, chances are the reason why I'm getting strep throat, clearly there's bacteria in my throat. You know, Black parents in the 90s, they don't give a fuck about shit. And so they're not taking you to no doctor. What? You know how much that's going to cost? So literally, you going to the doctor by the time the strep throat comes, okay? And chances are, I'm an adult now. My dad was probably scratching his balls or some shit and then saw me choking. You know what I'm saying? I got ball crumbs on my throat. Don't nobody got time for that. So I've had strep throat, whatever. That'll come back later. Fast forward to college and my second year, when I was in the choir and had the scholarship, so on and so forth, we went for a four-wheeling, like we went to this farm. They had dirt bikes, they had four-wheelers, the whole nine. I'm on a four-wheeler. There's somebody riding with me on the back. I hit a dirt bike ramp and I fly off the four-wheeler. And then my friend John at the time was like, I wasn't even going to get up till I wasn't going to even leave the truck until I saw you get up because I thought you were dead. Like earring over here, shoe over there, the whole nine. It was brutal. I got back on the bus, whatever. We had already signed, NDAs that we couldn't sue these people. So bitch, wake up. Ain't nobody getting a dime. Get back on the bus with your dumb ass. But the following week, I got into a car accident. And I was supposed to be driving my car with my girlfriends, and my car wouldn't start. So we took my other girlfriend's car. Her car was so totaled that she couldn't get it recovered. If it had been my car, we would have been in the ditch and dead. Fast forward, and let's get to like my 20s. Remember that strep throat? It turned into tonsillitis at one point. And if I had stayed out the hospital one more day, I would have been dead. Fast forward, and let's get to 2021. When I ended up with pneumonia, COVID, a menstrual, and couldn't breathe at all. Like I was literally dead. By the time my menstrual came on by the second day, I was like, Jesus, you can take me. I give up the ghost. Like I'm not going to have cramps and die.
I said, Jesus, take the wheel.
He can just have me by this one. The ghost is back to you, God. But I actually ended up hospitalized for my birthday in 2021. I was supposed to have this big ass party. Money had got put down on the Airbnb. It was going to go Yeah, okay, shit's about to go down, down. It was gonna go down. And everything had to get canceled. My money had to come back because I was in the hospital fighting for my life.
Mm.
And that was the last time, but we'll see what happens next week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm headed back to Jersey. Let's see what life gives us. So yeah, no, I've literally been, that's been a continuous thing my entire life. And by this point, I've gotten so close to death. One thing for anybody that gets nervous about death, I will say, including since you asked this question, okay, Mr. Ace, what I will say is this: fearing death is a luxury for the living. And that's when you know you're going to possibly die. Because when you're that close to dying, that's just not scary no more.
Gotcha.
So just remember that. If you're still afraid to die, you're not dying.
Perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's only 2 situations in my life.
Right.
And they were not as entertaining as yours. Well, one of them was it could be kind of entertaining. But one came when I was a kid. I was like, I can't remember. I had to be like under 5. And I remember it vaguely. Whatever apartment complex we were on. I don't know how many stories we were up. I want to say the top floor. I'm gonna say 2 or 3 stories, maybe 2, but it could have been 3. I can't remember. I had the great idea at the time because of how your brain is set up under 5. You just don't you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I went to go sit by the window, right? And the next thing you know, I passed out, fell through the screen, fell to the ground. Luckily, of course, like say if I would have just went head first or some shit, then it would have been OD for me. You know what I mean? But I woke up. I don't know what happened. My mom said like child services were up my ass and shit like that after that happened. But that was the first time. Again, I don't know what happened. I just know I was by the window, passed out, fell.
Was that your first time ever passing out?
It was.
Oh wow.
That was the first time I passed out. Well, don't I other times I passed out. I don't know if you ever found out how to pass out as a kid, but that was purposely done. You know what I'm saying? That was
Because I heard about a chick that said every time there was confrontation about things and she didn't want to deal about it, she would deal with it. She would just pass out. And she had a video of her like overwhelmed at a choir concert and just passed out down the flipping bleachers.
Yeah, but I passed out, fell to the ground. Again, I don't know how many stories we were up, but yeah, that could have been disastrous. I could have, my stint on this earth could have been extremely short. You know, it would have been, of course, yours coming out the womb would have beaten that record, but you know what I'm saying? It's still it still was a thing. The second time I was an adult, and I had got a gun pulled out on me. Of course, the trigger would have been pulled, I would have been dead, or probably. But what happened was it was in my 20s. I want to say like around 25-ish, 26-ish, somewhere around there. Me and my friend, it was me and 2 other guys. One was my friend and one was a friend of his. We went out to a bar, trying to find something to do, whatever, whatever. So it's time to leave, and we see these females, that are out in the parking lot or whatever, and it's like an SUV. I think it's a great deal. I mean, a good idea to act like I'm about to steal their car, right? And what I mean by that, not like breaking into or whatever. They just had the car door.
Were you trying to flirt?
This was I was trying to be funny. It was more of, well, you know what? I wasn't thinking about stealing. That's what it looked like. I'm sorry. I just was gonna get in the driver's seat. Then about, hey, what you doing? Spark a conversation. That was my idea. In my head at that moment, spark, you know what I'm saying? I was about to close the door, crank the car, all that shit. I just was gonna get into the car. But of course it looks like I'm about to steal it. Now, I didn't know a dude was around. As soon as I got in that bitch, what are you doing? Fuck out the car. I was like, oh, I was like, hey, bro, my bad. You know what I'm saying? But what if it was a situation to where he could have used that as self-defense, like, you know what I'm saying? Or he felt threatened that somebody was stealing his car. It would have been a wrap for me. So in the moment, I didn't panic. I was like, you got it, bro. My bad, my bad. I didn't see you. Like, I never saw him. Like, I just saw the
He
women.
was watching you.
I never saw the women. You get what I'm saying? So I remember on the car ride back home, I was just quiet. I was a driver, whatever. And then my friend's lame ass partner was like, bro, that was so crazy, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. I could have died. What's wrong with you? Man,
Where was
this
you when
night
the
is
gun
over.
was out?
The night is over. I'm taking y'all home. I'm going home. Fuck. Ain't no goddamn going to nobody's house and goddamn continue to drink. I'm done.
You
Motherfucker in the
like while the
back
gun was
talking
pulled
about
out, were
something
you
that was
getting the
wild.
bitches' numbers?
The fuck? But yeah, those are my two times that I could have died.
Listen, that's a rough one.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. Got to be more careful out in these streets.
Yeah, like maybe don't break into people's cars.
Well, technically, the car door was already open, so I didn't break into it. I was
Don't
trying, like
open.
you said, I was trying to flirt.
I'm gonna help you find new ways to flirt. I hope this was in your 20s and not your 30s, because it was in the 30s. I gotta help you learn new ways to flirt, because there's
Oh
no
yeah,
way.
that was the first and last time I attempted that. I learned my lesson quick, fast, and hurry. Never again.
I'm through. Okay. What are your top 3 icks? And by ick, I mean pet peeve. What are your top 3 ick?
You know what's crazy that you asked that? I was actually I asked somebody to assist with the question, and they brought that up, and I was like, "What the fuck is an ick?" And they had to explain it to me. I was like, "I've never heard that." So I'm glad they said something because now I'm prepared to answer the question.
Now you know what an ick is, see?
Let's see. Got 3 of them bitches. Let's see. Okay. For one, I hate one thing that'll turn me off like immediately, with you know, if I was in a space with another female is them just being mean for no reason. Like I can understand like you know, making like a harmless little joke, but if you like intentionally mean,
Yeah.
and talking about, your so-called friends and shit like that, that's gonna be a turn off immediately for me. Like that just shows me like your soul, like the type of person you
Yeah.
are. And I ain't fucking with that shit. Like I have zero tolerance for a motherfucker that's just mean for no fucking reason. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You need your ass whipped. That's just kind of how
Yeah.
I kind of approach that. Um, I guess another thing is not knowing how to communicate because I'm very heavy on communication, like extremely heavy on that shit. And if you are incapable of doing that with me, there ain't no point in me fucking with you, like at all, because I don't be having time for miscommunication because of lack of communication. That's so irritating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so those are two like kind of in-depth icks, and I want to have a surface level ick.
Okay.
If your breath stink, like on like not early in the morning, like it just is what it is, and I can't deal with it. Not even a little bit. It was crazy because I had this it was a long time ago too. I had this one girl I was talking to, fine as hell, right? Fine as hell. Ref was just kicking, what I mean, kicking like a soccer team. Like it just was not the move. And she was so fine, right? I remember one time I offered her some gum. I was like, man, we got to try to figure this shit out. She declined the gum.
You know
She
how fine
declined.
somebody got to be for you to try to figure it out and work around?
She declined the gum. I was like, bruh, do you not smell your breath? Like, you don't taste that shit?
No, baby girl, come get a piece of this gum real quick.
And it was so bad because she was fine as fuck, but I couldn't get past the breath. I even remember one time, like I could have smashed, like I even passed on smashing because I remember one time it was I don't know what I was doing. I was like leaving like maybe a kickback club or whatever, and she tried to hit me on some like nightcap type shit. I was like, I'm kind of tired. I'll fuck with you at a later date time. It was because of the breath. I didn't want to be involved. But yeah, those are my three, three in depth. I mean, two in depth ones. I had to get that surface level one in there too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Mine might all be surface level, but we just gonna go with it. Since you brought up the breath thing, the interesting part about breath for me, because I'm the type of person, just like if you have something on your face, I'll let you know. If you're a person gonna be like, hey, listen, I know what you may have eaten. I don't know if you got a bad tooth, bitch, but let me go ahead and give you a piece of gum. But what I cannot stand the smell of is morning brushed teeth.
What you
Right?
what?
Like,
Morning
okay, so hear
brush
me out.
teeth?
Oh my gosh, it smells so bad. Because in
Please
my mind,
explain.
I know your mouth was filthy and you swashed bullshit through your mouth. And it's like now, before the Listerine hits, it just smells like open mouth and mint. And nobody wants
What?
mint flavored. Like, I mean, nobody's like, oh, can I get that mouth mint flavored ice cream? That's never going to be a flavor. It's never going to be a mouth mint flavored Dorito like that. When you think about the idea of that, it's so gross. Like, it's so fucking nasty. Like, oh my God. So, literally, like, it's horrible. It's horrible. Like, I need you to close the bathroom door while you're brushing your teeth and directly after. I'll never be that woman that's like, let's get his and her counters and sinks and brush teeth together. I'm never going to be, because to me, I don't even keep my toothbrush in the bathroom because the idea of having a toothbrush that close to a place I shit bothers me. Like, I don't even want that. You
The
feel me? I would
ideology
keep it in a
makes sense,
holder.
but for you to think
Oh
about it
my
that way.
gosh, it freaks me out. Okay. The second thing, I can't do dirty nails. Like, an unkept man is an unfuckable man. There are certain things you should know. You better, you no, seriously though, but for real, like an unkept man, like, and shout out to Kevin Samuels. People need to give him respect because what he started with was teaching men how to be men. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, he went viral for the situation with women, but that's what he was known for. So like a man that doesn't know when to wear a belt, a man that doesn't know when to wear dress socks with what specific kind of dress shoe, a man that can't pair a tie to an outfit accordingly or have at least one blazer or jacket in his closet. Shit like that is unattractive as hell. And it's like there's a time and place. You could be frumpy your whole day, your whole life. But when it's time to step out, know how to step out.
Right.
And so any kind of lack of any form of being unkept, it shows a lack of, I guess, it is what it is. It shows a lack of education. And we can't always blame our parents for what they didn't teach us, because now we're in a big grown age of the internet gonna show you, social media is gonna show you, television's gonna show you. If you ain't had no dad, nigga, you still had Uncle Phil. You still had Carl Winslow. You still had Martin Lawrence. You still had all these black men on television that showed you how to be classy, and you chose to be a bum ass bitch. So I can't do the unkept shit, starting with the fingernails. And then the last thing, and God bless my family, maybe this is why I don't even eat ramen noodles. I cannot do the sound of slurping or smacking. And honestly, I think it's a Leo thing. If you run into any other Leo, ask them, can you be near somebody when they're chewing? Like even when I did lunch in high school, I have to get up and walk away. Y'all bitches are still chewing, and it's got me perturbed. Like, I can't do the eating, oh my gosh, it's so bad. I'll put my AirPods in. If I really care about the person that I'm around who's doing that smacking shit, after the first time I asked them not to smack, I'll just put my AirPods in. Because I'm like, and then we're gonna have a problem.
Those are some interesting icks. I'm glad I didn't
I
ask
think
that
those are
question
some
because,
really respectable icks. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, I feel you. Well, let's finish it up with one last question apiece,
Okay.
and this one we'll keep it a little light. This has been
Okay.
one of those episodes, um, because I have a lot, but I did that on purpose so we could make sure that we had enough material to get through this pod or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. What's a fear that paralyzed you as a child and or still paralyzes you as an adult? The
Oh,
fear
I
or
don't want to
phobia.
get deep with that because you said you wanted to keep it light, so I'm not going to get deep. So I'm not going to tell you the actual fear. So let me think about it.
When I said light, I'm just you can go where you want to. I'm just talking about like what we've been talking about
If
when it
I
came to the
tell you,
bedroom ventures and death and all that shit. You feel me?
if I
Go ahead.
tell you what it is, I'm if I tell you what it is, then you're gonna just shut down the entire episode.
Oh
But
damn.
since you say it, here we go. I was actually just talking to my husband about this yesterday. So I have a younger brother, and he's 2 years younger than me. And from the time he was born, like I was on his ass. Don't go here. Don't touch this. You're gonna die. Don't go here. You're gonna die. Don't chew when you're laying down. Don't do this. Don't do that. And that was always my biggest fear. I actually had a dream in high school. This is gonna be a heavy one, you guys. So sorry. Oops. I had a dream in high school, even where like there was a football player in our school, and like I saw him like snap his neck. Like it was always a big fear of mine. The fear did come true. So he did end up passing away when he was 22. But when I tell you, like, it was something that just, I don't know, maybe it was instinctive of, that being something that was going to eventually happen. But I would definitely say that was my biggest fear. I definitely mothered him so hard, trying to make
Mhm.
sure he was okay. And it's ironic because I think I was like, I know I had my oldest son at the time, but I didn't have the second one yet because he came back when I did. He's like, I'm joining the National Guard. You're what? I can't watch you from the National Guard. I can't watch you from Wisconsin. So literally, and then he joined it. He came back. He wanted to go to Afghanistan, all that. And so, yeah, I mean, it was like the harder I tried to keep an eye on him, the more this nigga was going off the rails, getting into wild shit. But yeah, I would definitely say that was probably my biggest fear ever. So yeah.
Mhm. Well, my fear it only was around when I was a kid, and it was goddamn Candyman. There was two instances to where it was like a buildup, right? Okay. So the first thing that happened, I didn't know who Candyman was. And my the way our relationship was set up as far as me and my two older siblings, because my youngest sibling wasn't born at this time. So I was the youngest. They used to torture me. You know what I'm saying? Like make fun of me, give me a hard time. I'm the only boy, shit like that. So one evening, I guess my mom had went out. My mom she was still single at the time. Yeah, because yeah, my younger sister wasn't here yet. So yes, my mom had went out, partying, kickback, whatever. She went, and of course they're the oldest sibling, so I'm stuck with them, you know. So they're like, "You want to play a game? Sure, let's play. Yes, I'm bored. We do something. I'm a kid, active. I'm gonna do something." So say Candyman in the mirror 5 times. Of course, I don't know what Candyman is. Candyman, oh man, that has candy. That, okay, this light.
You said it 5 times?
Yeah, so I said it 5 times. And the next thing they did was lock me in a room. But before they did that, they told me who he was in the story. The fuck? So y'all got me in a room after y'all didn't had me say the shit in the mirror 5 times. I'm dead. That's in my head. I'm dead now. He's coming to get me. So that was the Candyman story part one. There's a part two. So I'm older now. I'm still a kid. I'm still in elementary, but I'm not like, first grade, second grade. I'm like fourth grade, fifth grade now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little older, a little bit mature. as for an elementary student. So I'm like, you know
You
what?
made it now.
I'm like, man, Candyman ain't shit. I'm about to watch this motherfucking movie. Ain't shit. Who the fuck? What the fuck going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm grown. Watch the movie. I'm like, the fuck? That's what he be doing. So now, from hearing what my sisters told me, to actually seeing it, I'm just thinking this is real life. I'm just like, oh fuck, fuck my life. So I remember at the time my uncle, he actually was staying with us for a short period of time or whatever, and we had shared a room. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night after watching that movie. Hell, we might watch it together. I don't know. But there's like okay, there's a light, there's a dim light in the hallway. The door's kind of open, and there's like a coat or some shit on the handle. I wake up, I actually think that's Candyman. And I literally feel paralyzed because I can just wake him up or something. But I was stuck. I'm just like I couldn't move. I
You want to
couldn't
get up.
talk
So wait, was it like a corner of light coming through the door or something
or
that showed
something.
up?
It was something that it just I felt like that was Candyman at the door. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when I say I was paralyzed, I couldn't move. I couldn't wake my uncle up. In that moment, nobody could save me. He was coming. So from the time I said it, way back whenever, I didn't watch the movie. Candyman is here now. He's
I
here.
said he's coming for you. He waited patiently for you to think he wasn't showing up, and now he's finally here to get you.
Oh man, I'm glad I got out of that because it's crazy because I love horror movies now, but back then, Candyman he was that motherfucker back then. Now that I'm old, I watch the old Candyman movie. I'm like, this shit didn't even have no action in it for real. The fuck was this? I was terrified as a kid. Ain't no action in this shit now. You
I
know what I mean?
watched Candyman my senior prom. Watched some of Candyman, and I realized Candyman wasn't killing black people, and I was like, oh. I
Right.
ran at home. I was like, I rationalized it. I was like, wait a minute, he's not. We didn't throw that honey on his ass. Like, we good. We're good.
Right. And
Well,
I ain't really connect that until the latest version of Candyman when it's current.
when
And
he
I'm like,
really
oh,
wearing
okay,
everybody.
that shit hard. I fuck with that shit. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
her. Like, of course, not in real life, but for movie purposes. But don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Is it my turn?
Oh no, that was the last one.
Oh, the last one? Okay.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I have one more. I was like, just in case, I got one more.
So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. This was a very interesting one. I appreciate you coming on once again, AJ.
Yeah.
Before we head up out of here, go ahead and let people know where they can find you at.
You guys can catch me on The Tea is Toxic on Spotify, Apple, Google, iCatcher, web browser, Instagram, TikTok, and soon to be my website where you can get the Tea is Toxic products as well. So very excited about what's coming up in the next few weeks. And hopefully I see you guys on one of those locations.
Okay, with the merch. That's what I'm talking about. Alrighty, man. You already know the slogan there. Anybody can talk, but everybody can't podcast. With that being said, we out.